Hunt's traditional pasta sauce uses both sugar and high fructose corn syrup in the same jar. That combination is confirmed directly on the label. The company that owns Prego just paid $2.7 billion to acquire Ragu's, a brand that contains neither. Here's what that number actually tells you. Every ingredient claim in this video comes directly from each company's published label information, FDA regulatory records, and public corporate documents including SEC filings. Traditional Italian tomato sauce has 5 to 7 ingredients: tomatoes, olive oil, garlic, salt, and herbs. That is the whole list. Brand 5 to skip: Del Monte traditional pasta sauce. Del Monte is one of the oldest canned tomato brands in the United States, and its pasta sauce carries the same wholesome agricultural imagery that built the brand across canned vegetables for over a century. The ingredient label for Del Monte traditional pasta sauce lists high fructose corn syrup as an added sweetener, confirmed by the Daily Meal and Eat This Not That in independent pasta sauce quality comparisons. High fructose corn syrup in a tomato sauce is not a minor additive. It is a signal about the quality of the tomatoes in the jar. Genuine ripe tomatoes at peak harvest carry enough natural sweetness to balance a sauce without any added sweetener. When a manufacturer adds HFCS to compensate for acidity, it means the tomatoes used were not ripe or flavorful enough to produce an acceptable sauce on their own. Del Monte's 8 grams of sugar per serving reflects that sourcing reality more honestly than the farming imagery on the label does. Brand 4 to skip: Prego traditional pasta sauce. Prego is a Campbell soup brand, which matters significantly at the end of this video, and it is the best-selling pasta sauce in the United States by market share. The ingredient list for Prego Traditional includes tomato puree as the base, but uses soybean oil rather than olive oil as its fat component, adds sugar as a sweetener, and in its meat sauce, variety carries 10 grams of total sugar per serving, 4 of which are added. There is no olive oil in standard Prego varieties, despite the fact that olive oil is the universal fat component in every authentic Italian tomato sauce recipe. Soybean oil replaces olive oil because it is dramatically cheaper and shelf-stable longer without affecting appearance. Olive oil gives genuine pasta sauce its body and round mouthfeel when coating pasta. Soybean oil removes that quality characteristic while leaving the visual appearance essentially unchanged. Prego's dominance of the pasta sauce market means most American households are eating a formula built around cost reduction rather than ingredient quality, without any labeling that signals the difference. Brand 3 to skip: Bertolli pasta sauce. Bertolli was founded in Lucca, Italy in 1865, and the heritage story is prominently featured in all its marketing. The pasta sauce line carries the most sugar per serving of any brand on this skip list, at 11 grams per half cup serving per Eat This Not That's published nutrition analysis. Bertolli sauce uses soybean oil as its primary fat, not olive oil. Both the Bertolli and Ragu pasta sauce businesses were sold by Unilever to Mizkan Group, a Japanese food conglomerate, for $2.15 billion in June 2014, documented in Unilever's SEC filing from that fiscal year. Mizkan Group is the current owner of Bertolli pasta sauce, meaning the olive groves of Lucca and the 1865 founding story are marketing artifacts maintained by a corporation headquartered in Honda, Japan. None of this constitutes a labeling violation, but it is information the front panel does not volunteer. 11 grams of sugar, soybean oil instead of olive oil, and Italian heritage branding by a Japanese parent company describes a product whose label is doing work its ingredients are not. Brand 2 to skip: Ragu Old World Style Traditional. Ragu is the other brand Unilever sold to Mizkan Group in that same 2014 transaction. The brand markets itself around since 1937, an Italian mother's kitchen language that invokes old world Italian cooking authenticity. The published ingredient list on the Ragu website reads: tomato puree, soybean oil, salt, sugar, dried onions, dried garlic, spices, garlic powder, onion powder. Soybean oil is the second ingredient listed after tomato puree, and sugar is the fourth. There is no olive oil on the ingredient panel. For a brand whose identity is built around an authentic Italian sauce from a traditional home cook, the absence of olive oil and the presence of soybean oil and added sugar is the clearest gap between what the marketing promises and what the product delivers. Ragu carries Italian heritage imagery on a product now owned by a Japanese corporation and made with soybean oil rather than the olive oil the Italian kitchen story implies. Brand 1 to skip: Hunt's traditional pasta sauce. Hunt's takes the top position because it is the only brand on this list that uses two separate sweetening agents simultaneously in the same jar. The label for Hunt's traditional pasta sauce lists both sugar and high fructose corn syrup in the same ingredient list, a combination that Mashed, Yahoo Lifestyle, and multiple nutrition analysis publications have described as a double sweetener that pushes the sauce firmly into candy territory by ingredient architecture rather than by flavor intention. Hunt's is a Conagra Brands product which also owns Healthy Choice, a brand that was named in class action litigation specifically for calling its pasta sauce natural, while containing high fructose corn syrup. The practical effect of using both sugar and HFCS in the same jar is relying on two separate sweetening mechanisms to achieve a flavor that should come from ripe tomatoes alone. The Cleveland Clinic specifically links high fructose corn syrup to increased risk of liver disease, insulin resistance, and type 2 diabetes with consistent consumption. Two sweeteners on a single pasta sauce label is the clearest possible documentation that the tomatoes in this jar are not doing the work the product's name implies. Brand worth buying: Rau's Homemade Marinara. Rau's Homemade is the benchmark for a jarred pasta sauce label. Italian, whole-peeled tomatoes, olive oil, salt, onions, fresh basil, garlic, and black pepper. No added sugar, no soybean oil, no high fructose corn syrup. In November 2023, Campbell's Soup Company, the same company that owns Prego, acquired Rau's for approximately $2.7 billion. That price reflects Campbell's own acknowledgement of the gap between what Prego is and what a genuine quality pasta sauce looks like. A company paying nearly $3 billion for a brand built on olive oil and no added sugar, while selling its own brand with soybean oil and added sugar, is the clearest possible market signal about which product is actually superior. Rao's is now at Walmart, Costco, and most major grocery chains. Brand worth buying: Muir, Glen, organic pasta sauce. Muir Glen sources its tomatoes from California farms and holds USDA certified organic certification for its pasta sauce lines, which requires independent third-party verification of farming practices rather than self-reported marketing claims. The Muir Glen organic Italian herb pasta sauce ingredient list reads organic tomato puree, organic diced tomatoes, organic olive oil, organic onions, sea salt, organic basil, organic black pepper, organic garlic. No added sugar, no soybean oil, no high fructose corn syrup. The organic certification does not guarantee premium taste, but it does guarantee that the tomatoes, olive oil, and herbs were produced without the synthetic pesticides and inputs that conventional farming allows. Muir Glen is available at Target, Whole Foods, and most grocery chains. Brand worth buying: Victoria Marinara sauce. Victoria has operated as a family-owned specialty sauce company and built its reputation specifically around a short ingredient list and no added sugar across its product range. Victoria's marinara ingredient list is crushed tomatoes, olive oil, salt, fresh basil, and garlic. 5 ingredients. The texture comes from crushed rather than pureed tomatoes, which produces a visibly chunkier sauce with more recognizable tomato pieces rather than the smooth, homogeneous product typical of the industrial brands on the skip list. Victoria is available at Costco in large format jars, which makes it the most accessible, genuine quality pasta sauce at the warehouse store price point. Its ingredient standard is verifiable against the label in seconds. Brand worth buying: Newman's Own Organic Marinara. Newman's Own produces its organic marinara without added sugar, using organic crushed tomatoes, organic olive oil, organic onions, organic garlic, and organic herbs as the complete ingredient list. The brand has directed all profits to charitable organizations since its founding in 1982, which is the company's publicly stated and consistently maintained operating model. The ingredient list passes the same test as Victoria and Muir Glen. No added sweeteners, olive oil as the fat source, short, readable ingredients available at Costco, Target, Whole Foods, and most major grocery chains. Brand worth buying: Bianco DiNapoli, artisan organic marinara. Bianco DiNapoli was co-founded with James Beard Award-winning chef Chris Bianco, who built his reputation making pizza widely regarded as among the best in the United States. The sauce uses California-grown organic tomatoes, organic olive oil, organic basil, sea salt, and organic garlic. No added sugar, no corn syrup, no soybean oil. The product is USDA certified organic, and the tomatoes are a specific variety selected for their lower natural acidity, which is how the brand produces a balanced sauce without compensating with sweetener. Bianco DiNapoli is available at Whole Foods, Target, and an increasing number of mainstream grocery retailers. It is one of the clearest examples of what the difference between a sauce made with high-quality sourced tomatoes and one made with sugar-compensated commodity tomatoes actually tastes like. Drop a comment and tell us which sauce has been in your pantry without you reading the back of the jar. And subscribe, because we are running the same label test across every major grocery category, so you always know what the ingredient list is actually saying before you cook with it.